When Femen came, it was like pop culture. It was a very powerful image and very powerful slogan. It was like, oh, in one image you can say as much as 3 or 4 pages in a manifesto.
I would say that we created this pop feminism named Femen in that form that we personally, young girls, Ukrainian girls, felt comfortable in. We just wanted our ideology to be like this, because it's adapted for nowadays, it's adapted for new time, for young generation, it's adapted for our interests and for our willing. Nudity is freedom! Nudity is freedom!
Laïcité, liberté, laïcité, liberté, laïcité, liberté, laïcité, liberté!
Because in France we are in an intellectual country, so we used to think a lot and to talk a lot and to debate a lot, but we do not act. So I wanted to join the possibility to act and to think in just one movement.
And when I came, I met a lot of people who told me, you know, we really like you, we respect you, we like your strategy tactic, and we like how you do it. But they say to me, we're not sure that it will work here in France, because everything is so nice, everything is so good. France is such a developed country, it's really emancipated country, and the relationship between men and women are not so difficult as in your part or as in Middle East or something, you know. They told me that. They said you will never have this confrontation and the action that you had in your part of the world. And for me it was a question too. When we were attacked by religious groups, by nationalist groups, by Seitas and Good, here we were beaten up. 10 naked women were beaten up by men who didn't care if we will stay alive after the action or not. And it happened in modern, developed, emancipated France. Definitely, women are oppressed everywhere. We live in men's domination world. We live in patriarchal society, and we're oppressed everywhere.
And for people in France, it's very disturbing to see powerful women, half naked but intelligent. Because in France, you separate the spirit and the intelligence in one hand, and you have the body in the other hand. It's very complicated to make the two parts working together.
And on the surface, you think that there's nothing to fight against. But there are still a lot of inequalities, like job inequalities, salaries inequality, discrimination, harassment, street harassments, sexist remarks, and like also prejudice about sexuality.
Yeah, so I would not say that it's easier than in Ukraine. I would say that just women, maybe they're open mind here and they realize what is everything about. Because in Ukraine it takes some time to explain to them why, for what, and why you need it. Here they realize that they need it, but they just never had anything to be in and to practice it, you know. And now Femen is here and they have.
I was there when Inna arrived in Paris, and I saw the movement growing, and I saw new girls arriving, and I feel it's really getting stronger every day.
And after we got a lot of support from people, and especially, of course, in France, as France was always base of feminism and the most feministic European country.
Before Femen, feminist movement used to be very criticized or mocked by medias. You know, feminists are like old-fashioned concept or grumpy old women. So it's not attractive for a young girl like me.
We got a lot of contacts from women, from French girls who wants to be Femen, and most of them said that it's the first time for them that they want to be involved in feminist movement here in France, because Femen is something that represents opinion of young generation. They say, what about young girls? What about new generation? They ask me, and I say, this is Femen.